So I've always been fascinated by sideshows and carnivals. And last week I had the unique opportunity to visit the gravesite of Jeannie and Al Tomani. He was billed at 8 foot 4 inches tall, and she was billed as 2 foot 5 inches tall. They were the world's strangest married couple. He passed away in the 1960s, and she passed away nearly 40 years later, but they currently lay side by side in Gibsonton, Florida in a small carnival cemetery. Jeannie was billed as the living half-girl in the 1930s, and she even performed as a miniature acrobat. Al was the featured attraction in many traveling groups. Rumor has it that he retired in the 1940s, and he opened the Giants Camp restaurant, which was a tourist attraction for many people on their way to Miami. Sadly, the restaurant went out of business in 2006. It was later torn down. The site of the cabins is now a park, seen here. And a replica of Al's size 27 boot is still on display in Gibsonton, Florida. The real boot seen here went missing years ago after Al's death. Let's go ahead and take a moment to listen to Jeannie as she tells her story.
We were known as the world's strangest married couple. He was 8 feet 4.5 inches tall, and I was the world's only living half-girl. I'd go from Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, all around there, those little fairs. That's how I got started in it, when I was 3. So many people say, oh, how horrible, how terrible. You know, I was 3 years old, and people came in, and being no legs, about yay high, and they thought that was great, and they'd bring me dolls and candy and gifts. I enjoyed it. Even when we were on the road, we used to look the people over and say, well, this one looks like a doctor, this one, he must be a butcher, things like that, because you had to keep yourself entertained. You couldn't just sit there all day long and stare into outer space. We had a lot of methods like that that would take our minds off of whoever was staring. You know, the crowd looks at the freaks, and the freaks look at the crowd, and that's about how it is.
The reason I made this video is because I wanted people to remember these two amazing American legends. So click like for them. I also spent an hour or two this morning colorizing this photo just to give people an idea of what they would look like in full color. Thanks for watching, everyone. Subscribe for more amazing videos every single week. Take care and goodbye.
Good morning, medical fans. Andre the Giant and the Big Show have some remarkable similarities. In their prime, their true height was about 7 feet tall. At their heaviest, each weighed in excess of 500 pounds, and the Big Show was even known as Son of Andre when he started his career. At that time, the Big Show was known as the Giant. He wore a similar singlet to Andre, and he often posed and mimicked Andre's mannerisms. It's no wonder that Andre's most well-known match was against Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3, and Big Show's first pro wrestling win was against the Hulkster. It made his career. Although they aren't actually father and son, they do share some very similar medical traits. Both men suffered from acromegaly. That's a condition where a tumor on the pituitary gland results in excess growth hormone. Many sufferers of this condition wind up with large hands, feet, and cranium. Take the French angel as an example. By the way, the angel was the inspiration for the character known as Shrek. Can you see the similarities? So why did Andre pass away in his 40s, while the Big Show seems healthy and agile as ever? Well, lifestyle can be a consideration. Andre was a heavy drinker, he didn't receive much medical care, and he traveled in cramped vans and airplanes. Big Show, by contrast, has his own personal tour bus, has had liposuction and a personal trainer, and lives a bit of a healthier lifestyle. However, the biggest difference may be a result of one single surgery. Early in his career, the Big Show was diagnosed with acromegaly. As a result, he had laser surgery that removed the tumor from his pituitary gland. Where Andre's bones never stopped growing, Big Show eventually stopped. That's why he looks like a relatively normally proportioned person, where Andre had so-called giant features. Nobody will ever surpass the legend of Andre the Giant. He was sort of the first of his kind, the first giant to receive worldwide exposure. Big Show's career may last longer. He may be a better wrestler, and he may be more athletic, but he will never be Andre. Leave a comment below. Who is your favorite? Are you an Andre guy, or do you love the show? Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe, we have new videos all the time. See you next time. Good morning, medical fans. Today's video is about the tallest wrestler of all time. His name was Gargantua. I'm Watson, your resident giant expert, and this is Bizarre Medical. Born Kurt Zia on January 12, 1913, Gargantua had the tallest build height of any wrestler in history. Promoters claimed that he was 8 foot 4 inches tall. You're watching some rare video footage of him wrestling at Royal Albert Hall. Of course, in typical wrestling fashion, his height and weight were extremely exaggerated. Those same promoters also said he weighed 50 stone, and that translates to about 700 pounds. And most people would argue that he was nowhere near 700 pounds. The Gargantuan Man was brought to the US after World War II by wrestling agents in an effort to help revive the aging business. However, the legend of Gargantua began during World War II, where he was known as Germany's largest soldier. After the war, he worked in various professions, but wrestling wound up being his calling.
Gargantua can stand so much and no more before he loses his patience and Strangler nearly loses his head. I'll huff and I'll puff and blow me down, he won't go down.
Various websites and publications have estimated his real height to be somewhere around the 7'2" mark. That puts him below Giant Gonzalez in actual height, but slightly taller than the Big Show, Kali, and even Andre the Giant's estimated true height. What do you think? Was he taller than Andre? Leave us a comment below. Which giant wrestler should we cover next? Another man billed at 8 foot tall is Silo Sam. Would you like to see more about Big Sam? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, we've got new videos all the time. Adios.